Does this government remember the emotional appeal by Deltans when our little hospital, running in the black for heaven's sakes, was threatened by one of the many reorganizations of healthcare? This is a riding where with the largest container port in BC, the largest 24-hour ferry terminal in the world, and the largest industrial zone in the Lower Mainland, and we were going to lose our emergency room. We gathered by the thousands, and we held hands around that hospital, a moving and inspiring sight to anyone who cared. A petition on the hospital was delivered to this House with over 31,000 signatures, one of the largest petitions in BC history. But it didn't matter. No one listened. A decision had been made, and the people be damned. A lot of hard work, including by our former MLA, managed to save a greatly reduced emergency room. But we lost our acute care beds. We lost our intensive care unit. We lost our specialists, many of our family physicians and our nurses. We lost beds in our extended care wing. Some of our seniors had to travel for hours on buses to see their spouses. We became less than we were, and our local health was compromised. Why? Because no one would listen. We didn't want to stop a reorganization, Madam Speaker. We simply wanted to be part of it, to contribute to the decision-making. Another crack occurred in the fragile glass of trust. I might add that our little hospital is coming back, Madam Speaker. The Health Authority has admitted mistakes, and there have been many successes too. We are a centre of excellence for day surgeries. We have our acute care beds back. Oh, we told you so story, by the way. Our hospital foundation built a new emergency room. Our hospital auxiliary built a new foyer, a new shop, a new cafe, and a meditative garden. The hospital foundation has just installed a CT scanner, all paid for by the people of Delta. But the reductions in elective surgeries, are they going to help? Are they going to hit our hospital again? Will it be like the schools? If the number of patients drop, do we have to justify the existence of the facility? Will we have to go through this all over again? The Minister of Energy and the Premier both promised, in writing, that there would be no new overhead power lines constructed in the backyards of Delta South. But the minute the election was over, the towers went in. A blatant, horrid, outright falsehood, a friction that has caused unspeakable heartache in Delta, a fraud that disrupted lives, tore apart homes, and has parents fearing for the health of their children. And then, just before this election, the government orders BC Hydro to buy the homes, 100 homes, purchased for the same amount that burying and shielding the lines would have cost in the first place. Where did that money come from? What was honourable about this fiasco? Where is the policy shift that will see the 58 other families who live beside the power lines receive the same buyout opportunity? Nowhere. Is this treating the people as if they shared a common goal? The South Fraser Perimeter Road is part of the government's vaunted Gateway program, one of the job creation opportunities that will provide, and I quote, additional stability and confidence. How much money could be transferred to other infrastructure projects if the Minister of Transportation did a cost-benefit analysis on altering the designated route? Delta doesn't want to get rid of the highway, Madam Speaker. We simply want logic to prevail. How much money could be saved if the portion of the highway north of 99 used the existing and sufficient rights-of-way on highways 99 and 91? Does the Minister know? Do her officials? Have they even looked at the suggestion? After all, Madam Speaker, the municipality of Delta is building a parallel road to the SFPR through the industrial zone. Do we really need two roads? Could we upgrade existing roads into the industrial area at a fraction of the cost? Will anyone listen to us before it's too late? Does the Minister know her highway goes through red-listed habitat? That the little mammal found on the edge of Burns Bog was thought extinct, let alone at risk? That single fact brings chills to my soul when I contemplate the real reason for the announcement of a species at risk task force. Does the Minister know that 95% of the built heritage of North Delta is being impacted or destroyed by her highway? that the last forested bluff on the lower Fraser River and one of the oldest pioneer communities on the Fraser is being destroyed. There is an alternative, Mr. Speaker, if anyone cares to listen. There are so many reasons that Delta decided it could take no more from this government. Even a 30-minute speech can't do justice to the reasons Delta feels so betrayed. Over 1,000 acres of Delta's agricultural land are disappearing with the Gateway program. 1,000 acres. The finest soil in Canada will become a rail yard, a container storage facility, a 4-lane truck highway, an interchange, a commercial development, and a container port. And this is in a community that is all that remains of the migratory bird flyway on the Fraser Delta, one of the 4 most important bird habitats in the world, Madam Speaker. A community that has Canada's largest concentration of birds of prey. There is nothing in the throne speech or the budget that recognizes a moral obligation to the flyway and the wildlife that depends on it. Without a healthy foreshore and without protected agricultural lands, we will destroy the habitat that supports that flyway. The government likes to say that we have to balance the economy and the environment. Well, Mr. Speaker, Delta South is the balance. We are all that is left of the habitat that supports millions and millions of birds. But no one listens. Instead, we build highways and container ports on the most precious land in the province. Where is our morality gone, Madam Speaker? I don't quarrel with the fact that the government finds itself in a deficit position. I doubt whether a government on this globe has come through the last year unscathed and without unexpected debt. And a place as resource-dependent as British Columbia will suffer even more dramatically than many. If the government is determined to amend legislation to enable it to carry a 4-year deficit, I will support the amendment. I wonder, however, why the charade of a balanced budget is not dropped altogether. Why not simply repeal a law that is plainly subject to government discretion? It has become meaningless, and meaningless law is bad law at best. But the issue for the people is not really the deficit. It is the guile, the pretense that the deficit would be so much smaller. It's not really the HST, it is the failure to tell the people the truth. Worse, it is the sense of utter helplessness in the face of a democratically elected government. It is the apprehension that our vote is a fraud, the slow realization that the elected representative is not delivering the voice of the people to the government, but is rather here to deliver the voice of government to the people. In other words, it is the fear that democracy is in trouble, Madam Speaker, and that is why I was elected. I am nothing short of a message to this place and this government. Democracy as we practice it is in trouble, and we in this House better do something about it. Madam Speaker, my election as an independent member has clear precedent, even if you do have to go back 60 years to find it. But understand this, it is a vote against a trust that has been shattered by arrogance and a failure to listen. But it is also a vote for someone. I have committed to the people of Delta South that I will be their voice in this House and to this government. I am energized by their trust and support. And to the countless British Columbians from around the province who have contacted me and who also realize that MLAs are hampered by our current party system, I hope to show that there can be a new way of exercising representative politics in our province, our beautiful province of British Columbia. Thank you, Madam Speaker.